Whoa. Now there's sound. I've got to give Bill some anticipation. I swear, half my streams I start out muted. Joey Carbstrong. Joey Carbstrong. Vegan Soypremacist Joey Carbstrong. That's who we're talking about today, guys. That's who we're talking about today. The great Carbstrong. Joey Carbstrong. Why is it that Australia seems to be the central point, the nexus point for so many of these vegan activists? Why are so many of these dudes coming out of Australia? I don't know. I mean, we've got Durian Ryder. We've got Joey Carbstrong. You've got Freely, the banana skank. All of these degenerate, washed up criminals coming out of Australia, these vegan militants, the tofu Taliban, seems to have a strong hold over there in Australia. But Joey Carbstrong does quite a bit of traveling. Right? He's kind of like the quintessential millennial. Right? Totally narcissistic, living his whole life in front of a camera. Total false sense of self, false sense of identity. Pushing the Fortune 100 worldwide Maoist revolution. He's the quintessential soy boy millennial. And we're going to learn a little bit about Joey Carbstrong today. Where's this guy coming from? What is he all about? And what is he doing? So I warn you guys, this stream may be incredibly creepy. It may be very offensive to you to see the things that this guy spends his time doing. So if you got a 12-year-old boy on social media hanging out on Instagram, you better protect your kids. You better understand what your kids are doing on the internet, because we got creepy vegans vegangelizing all over the place. And a lot of these people enjoy targeting children. Many of these people intentionally target the youth and vulnerable people. And of course, Joey Carbstrong does that. As a trans vegan, right, I identify as vegan. I eat basically a carnivore diet. I just eat animal foods, but I do identify as a vegan. I'm carnivore for the health benefits, vegan for the social justice perks. So as a trans vegan, I'm going to be doing some critiquing of Joey Carbstrong, a.k.a. Crazy Eyes Carbstrong, a.k.a. Hide Your Kids, Joey Carbstrong's around, a.k.a. Vegan White Soypremacist. Joey Carbstrong, spreading that soypremacy. Vegan abolitionist Joey Carbstrong, who thinks that the vegan movement is morally equivalent to abolitionists who were trying to abolish slavery. Joey Carbstrong claims, hypocritically, which we'll explore a little bit later as well, Joey Carbstrong claims that the animal holocaust is what he's fighting. That there is literally an animal holocaust going on. And you know how he fights the Holocaust? How he fights the issue that he believes is as important as human slavery? He fights it by accepting Patreon donations, by traveling around the world. I mean, it's so absurd, right? He fights this so-called Holocaust by making YouTube videos and giving impassioned speeches and inspiring the youth to go vegan and eat vegan McDonald's foods. Shit you not. That is Joey Carbstrong's activism. So this is the peak Ubermensch of vegan activism, the quintessential soyified millennial, Joey Carbstrong. Here's his YouTube channel right here. Actually, Joey Carbstrong is we'll get into some of this later. I've had some personal interactions with Joey Carbstrong. In fact, some of my favorite interactions that I've had with any of these tofu Taliban Soypremacists of veganism is vegan Soypremacist. He is one of the my most favorite interactions that I've had online with any of these top vegans, other than Goji Man, right? Hashtag believe Goji. Goji Man, who threatened to sue me and told me his lawyers would be getting in touch with me because hashtag bald man bad, eat meat bad, hashtag beard man bad. Goji Man was my favorite. I'd say Goji Man might be my favorite still because he threatened to sue me. Still hasn't spoken to me, even though he promised to meet me on Skype and talk off camera. Still afraid to speak to me man to man. But Joey Carbstrong's probably my second favorite interaction, which we'll get into a little bit later. But first of all, let's take a look at Joey Carbstrong and what he's all about. What is Joey Carbstrong all about? Let's learn. The glucose network. That's a ancient Chinese symbol right there that probably means something totally different than these dumbass millennials making this content think it is. But this is about Joey Carbstrong. Joey Carbstrong's background. Hold on. Where's my audio? I'm getting audio issues. Like the blowing grass. Let's pretend we spend any time outside in the natural world. We'll shoot Joey outside. We'll shoot this outside. All right, I gotta adjust the audio, guys. I was having a little audio issue there. Oh, we gotta start over with the music. Wait, where'd it go? Joey Carbstrong, change. There we go. Look at all the life in those eyes. Just look how much love and understanding and joy beams from the face of Joey Carbstrong. Don't you just want to enter into that state that Joey Carbstrong's in right there? What's he doing? He's outside of a prison. Hashtag change. Yes, we can. Joey's about to freestyle.
Salisbury's sort of your typical northern suburbs sort of area. It's, there's a lot of drug use and people on welfare. There's a lot of crime. The further north you go, the more crime there is. Growing up in an environment like that, the odds are against you. So a lot of people will never make it out of that area. That area becomes them. They become a part of the environment. It becomes who they are. You have to be a really strong personality to overcome that. And, a percentage of people do. You learn how to defend yourself. You carry weapons. You're in a state of paranoia a lot.
So Joey Carbstrong grew up in the suburbs. The super harsh suburbs. Growing up on the streets in the suburbs of Australia, yo. Joey Carbstrong had a hard life, right? Well, he lived in a really tough neighborhood. His parents only had a 4-bedroom house. His dad only made $300,000 a year. They wouldn't let him eat Lucky Charms for dinner. They were really abusive parents.
You don't trust anyone else but your friends. And even then, sometimes, you know, your friends would turn on you. So I don't know, I feel like that environment shaped me and I adapted. I feel like humans and any organism, they will adapt to their environment. So if I put you in a rough environment, you would either adapt or you would fall victim to it. And I feel like we're built with this survival mechanism where, like, you know, you learn to adapt. I remember right around this area here, like I'd had 2 ecstasy tablets at this party. They were just starting to kick in. It was getting really heavy, like really good pills. And
all right, guys, now we're getting into the juice of it. Joey Carbstrong grew up tough upbringing in the suburbs. Here he is reminiscing about his days popping ecstasy, popping them theath pills. I guess this is a story of when he got arrested, when he went to jail.
There was a fight out the front and someone got stabbed. So I chased after him just around these shops here, and he was standing there and it was just blood just pissing out of his neck and out of his head. And I said to him, dude, you gotta lay down, man. You're gonna die, man. He just fell, like crumbled to the floor in my arms. My pills are kicking in really hard at this point. And I take my t-shirt off and I put it...
He's on ecstasy, takes his t-shirt off. Oh, so he saved this guy's life. That's cool. He got... All right. So Joey Carbstrong, growing up, doing drugs, going to parties in the suburbs of Australia. This is his harsh upbringing. He saw somebody who got stabbed one time. He took his shirt off.
The hole in his neck. So I start stuffing it down this hole and I'm holding it there, and I get this other girl to hold the t-shirt, and we've got another t-shirt on his head, and the ambulance went to the wrong food land, so we're waiting there for the ambulance and it finally arrived. But he ended up living, luckily. But yeah, that's just one of the little stories from around here back in the days. I don't think it became normal.
I don't know about that story. We were like stuffing it in his neck, stuffing the shit in his neck. I don't know about that. I'm not sure I'm buying into that one. So Joey the hero fizzed out of his head. Thizel Washington. Taking them ecstasy tabs and saving lives. He was a kind thug.
Because I knew that it wasn't happening in other places. You know, I felt like you don't really get used to it, but you sort of learn to accept it. Even as a youngster, I was around an environment where there was alcohol, there was drug use, there was teenagers drinking older than me, and I would be 8, 9 years old and I would be seeing that. There would be domestic violence, I'd see fights, and there'd be police at the house. And
so he hung out as any normal teenager in the suburbs, went to parties, and sometimes the cops would come to the parties. He took drugs. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of it, Joey. What the hell's going on? What's really going on?
I was really young, under 10 years old, and you know, I was always around it. It starts off just wanting to experiment, have fun, and fit in with friends. And I was very fearless. So, in the sense that I would, you know, try anything. I remember like saying it to people, and they're like, it was taboo for my age group, 14, 15, to be using ecstasy on a regular basis and meth.
All right, so surprise, surprise, early meth and ecstasy user, right? So like like using meth and ecstasy at 14. This is the top vegan activist on YouTube. This dude is out there trying to convert little kids to go vegan. This dude is out there traveling the world, starting protests. His movement, he calls it Light Up the World. Light up the world. And burn it all down, right, Joey Carbstrong? Check it out. Check out how he brands himself. Literally brands himself like a freaking evangelical. Look at the light behind Joey. That light shining. Look at him making love to that mic. Look at him making love to that microphone. Microphone check, 1, 2. You know, I mean, 14 years old, doing the thizzle dance, saving lives. Now saving the animals' lives. All right, let's continue.
Hard drugs and stuff like that. I liked that I was willing to take drugs that no one else was at my age, and you know, and people had that fear of the unknown. But I felt like I had the courage to do that. When I started dealing drugs, I started to use my own drugs that I was dealing, and then it became the addiction started to really set in. And
So just like a real hero, guys. He stopped using drugs. Right? You get where this is going, right? I stopped using drugs, and now I'm vegan, mate. Now I'm gonna save the animals.
using meth every day because the meth would give me crazy anxiety and I would, get really paranoid. I would use alcohol or other depressants to suppress the anxiety. I was suffering from serious mental illness, like that pain that I was feeling.
He was suffering from serious mental illness, but it's obviously Joey Carbstrong has totally cleared himself of any mental illness. He's cured himself using a vegan diet, and the vegan religion has saved Joey Carbstrong from himself. He was mentally ill. He was mentally deranged and brain damaged from using heavy amounts of ecstasy and methamphetamine as a kid, but he obviously turned it all around, and he's got his shit together right now, right?
Would spill out onto other people, so it made me into a loose cannon. I was highly strung and I was just churning over all this negative shit in my head, so I was just waiting for the opportunity, and I had mutual friends wanting to sort me out over it, like try to, sort of, how would you say, like discipline me over it, say fucking pull up, you know what I mean? But I was ready too, like if you come to my house to get me, I was ready to stab you, or I'd have a hammer and I'd just smash you in the face with it, and that happened. We always had sort of...
Alright, so an actual violent person just said he hit someone with a hammer while on meth and ecstasy.
Like a gang
what
of
other
us,
drugs?
It was never like nothing to...
Look at the harsh life. Look at that harsh life of these suburban kids in Australia drinking beers in a nice house. What's such a harsh reality, right? Such a harsh life growing up.
Group of mates hanging out, and then I feel as I got older and older, started to fall into a more sort of organised group of blokes. Fuck, that's hard to say, eh? The friends that I had, and you'd either had really good mates that would be with you through thick and thin, and sometimes that would change, like things would happen and you'd have fallings out with people, and usually over bullshit, but yeah, serious things would happen over bullshit, and yeah. Hey! What's going on, bro? That's funny, man.
Who's that?
That's one of my old mates. Yeah, he's coming back.
I'll just stand from a distance.
If you want to be filmed.
No,
Oh, okay, you do.
They gotta hide his old mate. He's walking through this nice suburb, and somebody drives by in a what kind of car was that?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Drives by in a Lexus or something, in some Lexus, and he tries to act like this is some gang member. They gotta hide his identity and shit. This is great. Look at him, he's walking through the hood. The vegan straight edge. Look at how hard this hood is. Look at that. Look at the brickwork on the ground. Wow.
Who's that?
Swag.
That's one of my old mates. Yeah, he's coming back.
I'll just stand from a distance.
If you want to be filmed.
No,
Oh, okay, you do your thing. Nice to meet you.
Hello, mate.
Nice to meet you. Going good. So much. We're just coming to get some few shots here. Just talking about the old days.
They had to hide this guy's identity. They don't want this guy to. They don't want to give this guy's identity up to Interpol. This international gangster in the streets. Look how hard those bricks are. Someone in the chat.
Well, around the time my grandpa died, I was on this sort of a bender, it was a really crazy bender, and I was running around with a gun down my pants because I was just paranoid. I just thought people were coming to get me.
So he had a squirt gun that he carried around. He carried around a squirt gun around the hood of the suburbs. The harsh suburbs.
Out the front, trying to get into my friend's car. She locked the keys in the car, and bang, these cops come. Searched me once, they didn't find it, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna get away, I'm gonna get away. They talked to the girl again, and they come back up to me, and he's like, let me search your pants again, mate. Searched my pants again, and boom, there it was. He found it, he pulled it out, he's like, officer, Sarge, and all of a sudden, boom, they just swarmed me. Yeah, that was it. I got locked.
Look at those understanding eyes.
Swarmed me. Yeah, that was it.
That shot's so horrifying.
Sarge, and all of a sudden, boom, they just swarmed me. Yeah, that was it. I got locked up then.
That was when the turning point happened, I feel.
I don't know, it's like a huge eye-opener. I had this time to like look at all my mistakes, my whole life, from like this new perspective. It was like a sober perspective where I could evaluate everything, I could look at everything, and I could see like, wait a second, my life is only a collection of all the mistakes I've made in my past, and it's led me to here.
I just thought, I don't want this to be my life, you know? I thought.
Right. So he turned it around, guys. The music's too loud on this part. You can't even hear him talking.
Children. Okay, we live in a society
There you go.
but then eating their dead bodies, and I was like, fuck it.
Oh, here we go. Here's this vegan conversion, right? So, Joey Carbstrong brands himself just like some of these goofy evangelical people. Joey Carbstrong, light up the world. There he is, not sexually assaulting a baby pig. His profile picture there. Joey Carbstrong grew up, had a super harsh life in the suburbs. You know, I mean, his parents were, his dad only made $300,000 a year. His grandfather passed away, right? I mean, none of us ever had grandparents who passed away, so he had to deal with these really harsh things. You know, a lot of meth, a lot of, he was doing the thizzle dance at age 14, popping them ecstasy pills, selling drugs, claims he was a violent criminal, carrying guns around, he says, arrested, went to prison. Right? Doesn't this just sound like a religious conversion video? Right? This whole thing is basically openly reps it like his religious conversion to veganism. So here's the point where it all turned around. And check out his shirt. It says, we all bleed the same color. Right? Because if your blood's the same color, you're the same as that animal, right? Because rats have red blood. They're just the same as a baby. So here we go.
You know, that need to change parts of their life, but they don't do it. And whatever wording she used and whatever she said, it sent this fucking light bulb off in my head. And I was like, you know what? I've always said I'm going to go vegan. I understood the hypocrisy in saying, you know, that you like animals, but then eating their dead bodies. And I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. And the next day, boom, I just went vegan, spare of the moment. So animals are innocent. Okay, they're more innocent than children. Okay, we live in a society that defends children fiercely. You know, pedophiles, put them in jail, cut their head off, kill them. We don't want them in our society.
Animals are more innocent than children, he says. And I just realized they used freaking Hans Zimmer soundtrack, so this will get flagged and demonetized. But it is what it is. Most of my streams get demonetized anyways. So yeah, there he is, guys. Now he's a vegan. Children are more innocent, or less innocent than animals. Animals are more innocent than children. Now, the thing with a lot of these vegan activists, when they get into their little debates, they're so inane, they're so completely twisted in their ideology that they can't even define words like innocent. They can't define words like suffering. And their worldview is so unexamined that if you start actually asking them questions about how they justify their morality, their beliefs, and pushing their morality and their beliefs on other people, they fall apart. All right, now we saw this when I talked to Vegan Gains, and ask yourself who's removed all of his joke-ass content from his YouTube channel now, which I commend. I'm very glad Ask Yourself deleted all his videos. What a great service to the world. But these people's worldview are completely unexamined. So he's going to use terms like suffering, unnecessary suffering, innocence, without the ability to define these terms at all. Now, Joey Carbstrong, if you want to come on, like I told you before, And let's get into this. Now, like I told you before, Joey Carbstrong, we can have a friendly conversation here on my channel. We can have a debate. Joey Carbstrong, I challenge you. I hereby challenge you. Come on my channel and debate me about your ethical veganism. Debate me on the ethics of veganism. Debate me on your vegan activism. Come show my audience why they should convert to your vegan-angelical worldview. I will give you the platform. You can come and you can show us why we need to be vegan. So here's some private messages that I received from Joey a few months ago, back in October. Let me find this. Back in October, I can see it on the screen, but there's a whole sequence here. There we go. Back in October, I invited Joey. Where's that first screenshot? They're all out of order. Excuse me, guys. Joey, would you come on my stream soon to talk about veganism and your activism? 100,000 subs, lots of potential converts. Now, I gave him this offer before I posted this silly little thing on Instagram, which is basically just a re-edit of one of Joey's debates that he did with a young boy on Instagram Live. So Joey debated a 12-year-old on Instagram, and I did a nice little re-edit. Did a nice little compilation of some of the best moments of his debate with a 12-year-old. And he was quite offended. In the video that I posted, it was on Instagram. You can find it on my Instagram feed somewhere. I told him, I said, check out, I forget the exact text I put on there, but I put one of the hashtags to catch a predator, right? Because these vegan evangelicals, the tofu Taliban, they predate children. They prey on innocent people. They prey on dumb people. And they prey on children. They try to insert their ideology into vulnerable young children's consciousness. They try to corrupt their worldview by giving them their totally self-contradictory, anti-human ideology. And he was quite upset that I made this edit. He said, "How dare you call me a predator, you twisted man? Are you projecting? That little dude trolled my live stream telling us to kill animals, and no one knew he was 12 till you got him on the stream. You better think harder before..." Where'd it go? You better think hard before you call a public figure a predator. You know what can happen, right? I've already screenshotted the post, and you'd want to remove it. Not debating with some weird individual who goes around calling people predators. You don't even fucking know me, mate. That was Joey's response. Totally rational and coherent response from Joey. Threatening me. So this was one of the first times I've been threatened by a vegan public figure. And it wouldn't be the last. So Joey Carbstrong thinks he could bully and intimidate people, including 12-year-olds. He says, maybe I'll get a few of your videos, edit them and take them out of context and post a video of you calling you a predator. Might get 20,000 views. I wouldn't stoop to your level though. I prefer to keep it respectful. So he refuses to debate me. I wasn't really having the intent. You know, these vegans, they can't intimidate you. You absolutely have the right, through fair use, to show footage that these people have put out there. You absolutely have the right to call these people out for being ideological predators, for preying on children, manipulating children, and corrupting children. Absolutely have the right to tell these degenerates exactly what they are. Remove your predator poster, I'll take it further. Alright. So I obviously didn't remove the post. And not only did I not remove the post, I invited him again. I said, come on, dude. Kept on threatening. And then he blocked me. So that was the end of my interaction with Joey Carbstrong. Joey, if you see this video, you are more than welcome to come on my channel and speak to me. Just like Goji Man, who refuses to answer my emails, who actually set up a day to meet with me and a time, stood me up, and then acted like it never happened. Goji Man and Carbstrong, you guys are on the same page, aren't you? So let's take a look at why Joey Carbstrong was so mad at me. You guys want to know why Joey Carbstrong was so mad? What triggered Mr. Carbstrong? Well, Joey put out this video where he debated a 12-year-old. Here's his actual video. It's about 18 minutes long. I abridged it to a 3-minute video and another 1-minute version, just so everybody could get the gist of Joey Carbstrong's level of depravity and the disgusting way this man talks to children. So let's go.
Want to come up with something witty or else? Oh yeah, so we've got to... Don't worry about the fisherman. I wonder if he wants to go live. Hey Mason, you want to go live? I'm gonna try to get him to go live with me if he wants to have a chat. Come on, Mason, come and chat live. You shoot fish. Let's talk about it. Mason.
Hey, how you doing?
How old are you, dude?
I'm 12, bro.
You're 12.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you the fisherman?
Yeah, I'm the fisherman.
Oh, dude, why did you come in my stream to tell us that you're shooting fish?
I didn't come here to tell you that you couldn't fish. I came here to tell you that you should fish.
I should fish. Oh, I thought you said you shoot fish.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Look, me personally, I respect you being a vegan.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get my point across. I like fishing.
You like fishing?
All right, look, this is the thing about social media. Social media has opened up such an intense level of potential dangers for children. Parents out there, please do not give your kids freaking smartphones. Please don't give your young children iPads. Please do not let your kids get on Instagram Live and talk to these people. Imagine if it wasn't just some useful idiot, brain-damaged vegan trying to convert your child to veganism, right? This 12-year-old is more intelligent than Joey Carbstrong, right? This 12-year-old is more socially adjusted. He takes verbal, physical, and social cues better than Joey Carbstrong, than creepy Carbstrong. This kid is more intelligent than Joey Carbstrong. But imagine if this kid was like, 9, 10. Right? There are so many weirdos out there in the world. Just protect your kids, folks. You don't know what your kids are doing on social media. You don't know who they're interacting with. You guys remember that? Remember the Chris Hansen show back in the day where they used to go on like AOL Instant Messenger and pretend to be a little girl and bait predators into meeting them. It was called To Catch a Predator. All right, look at Snapchat now. Look at all these platforms that these kids are just using like it's nothing. Right? It's a frightening world out there, and there are disgusting, scary people out there trying to influence and even harm children. Now, obviously, Joey Carbstrong doesn't think he's trying to harm a child. He thinks he's helping him. He's grooming him to be vegan. But what other things are people out there predating children over on the internet? You got to teach our children. We got to protect our children from this degeneracy. And not only does this go on the internet, this happens in schools as well. All right, the public education system, public indoctrination centers are where a lot of the breakdown of our society occurs. That's the nexus point of the breakdown of society, is the public school system. So you gotta be careful what people are teaching your children, what people have access to your children, and what your children have access to. It's not all just fun and games out there in the world, guys. There's serious shit going on. So, anyways, let's listen to Joey Carbstrong get outclassed by an emotionally, psychologically, and mentally superior 12-year-old.
Out about that kind of stuff.
You don't like it?
I'm not saying that you did. But I know that you do not support it.
I don't support fishing. Do you know why I don't support fishing?
Why?
Because fish are sentient animals and they feel pain and suffer, and when you hook them in the face and drag them out the ocean, they suffocate and they suffer in their last moments, and it's unnecessary. You're doing it.
So you can see the spite, the hatred, the anger, the twistedness starts to come out whenever Joey talks about the violence on animals. Like, these vegans, they love talking, they love obsessing over violence. Right? Most of their content is violence pornography. And you could see the emotions come out. You could feel it welling up in him. You could see his face change from his fake little smile to... Because that's what you're dealing with. That's what you're dealing with inside these people. You have twisted, broken, deranged individuals who have poisoned their bodies and minds with ideologies and drugs and a nutrient-deficient diet. And they're out there and they want blood.
You do it as a hobby, and you don't need to.
I do it for fun.
You do it as a hobby?
Yeah, it's my hobby. You should check out my Instagram for my posts.
I will check out your Instagram, but dude, you know that you're killing animals for fun, basically. When you do that, you're killing animals for fun.
I know what I'm doing.
You're killing animals for a hobby, but for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you kill dogs for fun?
Dogs for fun? No, I have. Hey, buddy, come here.
You got a dog?
Yeah, I got a dog. Hey, buddy.
What's your dog's name?
All right, so it goes on like this for about 18 minutes. The kid totally outclasses him. There's zero social cues taken from Joey Carbstrong, and he tries to talk to this boy who's more intelligent than him like the kid's a fucking idiot. He speaks to this kid like he's retarded. This kind little boy, highly intelligent kid, stomps him. And then at the end of it, the kid's mom comes. Check it out.
Used to be a vegan, but...
Who used to be a vegan? What's that got to do with what I'm talking about?
Because someone in the comments was saying I'll be a vegan one.
Don't worry about what they're saying in the comments. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay? In the eyes of the pig, do they know they've been made for you to eat? Or do they just want to live?
Look,
Them crazy eyes.
they just want to live. It's true. Look, we brought them into this world to eat. So look, that's how it is.
So that justifies it. What if we... Hey, my friend, Mason. What if we bred humans into the world to eat? Would that make it moral? Just because, like, let's just say, we genetically modified humans to be big enough and juicy enough to eat. We bred them into existence for that purpose.
So let's just invent a totally hypothetical, impossible situation to try and show that you're inconsistent in your worldview. This is so sad. This guy...
Would that be ethical?
Are humans though?
So what?
How is human brings humans into the world to eat?
Easy. The same way we do with pigs.
Yeah. Yeah, look. Yeah, look.
There's his mom calling.
You're getting in trouble. Peace, brother.
Peace, brother.
See you, mate.
And then
Yeah,
his child's mother. So they always bring up cannibalism, right? It's the same. Eating people is the same as eating pigs. You're just like a pig, right? Trying to brainwash children into thinking that they're the same as little animals. Freaking out cannibalism. Just sick, demonic thoughts, right? The thought process behind these people is so sick. But I did you guys a favor. That's an 18-minute video. I made a better version. I made a much better version. Well, there's two versions that I made. The 3-minute version's pretty good. And then there's a 1 minute version. Where is it? There we go. Let's check out my 3 minute super edit of the important parts of the conversation. There's Joey Carbstrong, the abridged version, the Wicka Wicka remix. Joey Carbstrong talking to a 12-year-old.
Hey Mason, you want to go live? Hey Mason, want to come? Come on, Mason, come and chat. Mason, Mason.
Hey, how you doing?
How old are you, dude?
I'm 12, bro.
You're 12.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I like fishing.
You like fishing? I'll check out your Instagram, but dude, would you kill dogs for fun?
Dogs for fun? No, I have. Hey, buddy, come here.
You got a dog?
Yeah, I got a dog. Hey, buddy.
What's your dog's name?
Hey, buddy.
What's your dog's name, dude?
Hey, buddy.
Buddy?
Yeah.
Let me see Buddy. I'm gonna tell you something really important in a minute when you show me Buddy. I'm gonna tell you something really important, and it's to do with Buddy, and I want you to try to... Mason. Mason, I want you to try to think really carefully for me, alright? And it involves Buddy. I've got a dog, my dog's name's Snooky. She's around here somewhere, but you've got a fish? Oh look, Buddy, oh my god, Buddy, hello Buddy!
He named his dog Snooky. Isn't that the girl from Jersey Shore? Wasn't that the Jersey Shore chick? Snooky. Bonus points for Joey Carbstrong there.
I've got my own fishing apparatus in the water, okay, and it's got a dog bone on there, a little dog treat, and Buddy sees it, and Buddy grabs it, and I hook him in the face, and I drag him into the water and drown him, okay, for fun. Do they feel like when they suffocate to death? Just dragged him into the water, suffocated him, and now you're doing it with me. Now we're doing it together, see? Brother. What if I caught Buddy by a hook, dragged him in the water, suffocated him, and then released him for fun? Would you think that's okay?
I'm 12, bro.
You're 12?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do you think fish avoid a knife in the throat?
No, that's the thing.
They love it. Do you think they like it? They like being dragged out the ocean and stabbed. Should we kill each other? Do you know animals do some really messed up shit in the wild, dude? They rape each other, they kill each other.
Kill each other, yes.
Do you copy animals?
No, we don't copy animals.
Why are you copying animals?
The way?
Why are you copying animals?
I didn't say we copy animals.
Does mum cook your food for you? So if I slashed a dog's throat open, if I slashed a dog's throat open, stunning dogs and slashing their throat open. Like, I'm 31 years old, but when I was 12 years old, I wish someone had this conversation with me. Okay? And Mason, what if we bred humans into the world to eat? We genetically modified humans to be big enough and juicy enough to eat. We bred them into existence for that purpose. Peace, brother. See you, mate.
Have a nice day.
See you, bud.
Look.
That was interesting.
You're 12? You're 12? 12 years old. 12 years old. Joey Carbstrong, 31 years old. He's a millennial like me. But he's the quintessential soy millennial, right? Social justice warrior. Fighting for social justice. This vegan, white, soypremacist. Joey Carbstrong. This is how he talks to a 12-year-old. This is how he convinces a 12-year-old to go vegan. This is vegan activism at its finest. Let's see if I can find... Alright, so I made a 1-minute version. You guys want to see the 1 minute version? The 1 minute version is the one I actually was very upset about. That's the one I put on Instagram. Alright, let's watch this one. Here's the 1 minute version, the short and abridged version, right? Take note of how many times he expresses disgusting, violent acts in gruesome detail to his children. How much he relishes talking about the murder of animals, as he considers it, right? Not slaughtering of animals. He talks about the murder of animals. And he believes animals are the same as humans, that humans are just animals. And if you're going to eat a pig, it's the same as eating a person. This is the ideology that people are giving to children. Right? These are sick people. These are sick and twisted people with a sick and twisted worldview and ideology.
How you doing?
How old are you, dude?
I'm 12, bro.
You're 12?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You got a dog?
Yeah, I got a dog. Hey, buddy.
What's your dog's name?
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
I've got a dog. My dog's name's Snooky. She's around here somewhere. But you know, animals do some really messed up shit in the wild, dude. They rape each other. They kill each other.
Kill each other, yeah.
Do you copy animals?
No, we don't copy animals.
Why are you copying animals?
The way
Why are you copying animals?
I didn't say we copy animals.
Does Mum cook your food for you?
Yeah. Yeah, look. Yeah, look. Alright.
You're getting in trouble. Peace, brother. See you, mate.
Have a nice day.
See you, bud.
Look.
That was interesting.
Yes, it was, Joey. That's very interesting. Very interesting, very disturbing, and very offensive. And if you dare to ever talk to any of my children that way, you would have major issues. And I'm sure many of the viewers here would be quite offended if you attempted to talk to their children like that. Alright, so these nutcases are all over the place. Alright, these people are out there trying to educate children. And it's pretty crazy. Let's see some more from Joey Carbstrong. Where's that browser? Alright. Joey Carbstrong. So Joey's a perfect representation of the useful idiot millennial. Right? Totally rootless. No home, no sense of family, no sense of real community. Living in a false internet reality. Making up a false internet identity. And even a false internet name. Obviously his name is not Carbstrong. His name's probably Armstrong or something like that. Well, he's the quintessential millennial. Rootless, beliefless, godless. Preying on innocent children. Totally insane. Total inanity. Alright, I had a few other videos pulled up here from Joey that you guys will really like. So Joey being the perfect useful idiot for the vegan movement, which is Walmart activism, right? Right, it's about wearing cute t-shirts that say vegan. Let's see, where's some of his t-shirts? Does he have a store? It's about wearing cute t-shirts, wearing the little beanies. It's a consumer ideology. It's consumer activism. Purchase enlightenment. Right? And this is what the millennials get pushed on them. Buy your identity. Oh, it's what music you listen to. It's what diet you eat. That's what makes you who you are and makes you special. So we got Joey Carbstrong here pushing this mental illness. And he says he's fighting for the animals. He's fighting for animal rights. These people are so dumb. Their ideology is so unexamined that they don't even realize that they are fighting for big global agriculture. They are fighting for the system. They are fighting for the Fortune 100 companies like Tyson, General Mills, Monsanto, Bayer Monsanto now. Right? Bayer and Monsanto. Pharmaceutical and big agriculture companies coming together, forming like Voltron before your very eyes. And now, these same vegan activists who are out there with their very well-funded movements, who are traveling the world like rootless millennials, will openly promote McDonald's if McDonald's pushes their ideology. There's a video of Joey Carbstrong talking about how to eat at McDonald's. This is vegan activism at its finest, guys. So log on to Walmart.com, buy your vegan activist t-shirt, get your Black Lives Matter t-shirt on Walmart.com, get your hashtag MeToo t-shirt from Walmart. You know, get your pussy hat, buy your vegan supremacist, your vegan Soypremacist gear, Walmart.com, and head over to McDonald's. Head over to McDonald's for some real activism. Let's see what this is all about.
Know that I'm a vegan. I ain't eating no beef, no pork, no fish, no chicken. Now people think I'm tripping cause I ain't eating no dairy, no eggs, but I stay well fed off the fruits and the veg cause I care about the animals and the environment. I care about my health. If it ain't vegan, I ain't buying it. I care about the planet. If it doesn't, we go die with it. People hating veganism without even trying it.
Alright, here we go. Let's fast forward it.
Free butter. Damn.
All these fake foods. Fake butter. Fake burgers.
No, they're vegan, so don't
Do you know why they're vegan?
That's soy life.
Yeah, because they've got dogs, but they don't believe in it.
I don't think it's okay to slaughter an animal for no reason, just to eat their bodies or something. Yeah. Alright, so here we are in UK McDonald's. Yes, that's right, we're in McDonald's. I know I'm a vegan, but there's some stuff at the UK McDonald's that you can get that is vegan friendly, okay? The fries, they're not fried in any of the oil, so you don't have to worry about cross-contamination. I think they're fried in grapeseed oil or something like that. But then we got the burger, okay? So the burger, this is a veggie deluxe with no mayonnaise, no cheese, and it's got, I add tomato sauce instead of the mayonnaise. This is vegan friendly here in the UK. Also, the apple pie. So the apple pie is vegan here in the UK. I've got a Sprite here. Now, we prefer them to not use plastic, so to say I don't want any plastic, we carry around our little glass straw. Boom. So anyone who's worried about buying vegan options at McDonald's, I wouldn't worry about it. I would support the vegan options where you can. Let them know that you're vegan at McDonald's, because if they bring a McVegan burger out, like you don't have to alter the vegetarian burger, you can just bring they bring a specific McVegan burger out. That would be amazing for animals. Choosing the vegan options in non-vegan establishments, no matter which establishment it is better for animals than people just eating beef burgers. You might be a younger guy, you might have your friends out drinking and they might want to go to McDonald's, and you've got a vegan option there if you want one. I'm not saying that McDonald's is an amazing business. It's obviously harms and kills animals, but supporting vegan options is what's best for animals. If everyone bought the vegan burger at McDonald's, they'd probably put 2 or 3 on, and this is how we can change the corporations from within. Buying a vegan burger from a vegan
This is how we can change the corporations from within. See, these people are so brainwashed. They're so dumbed down. They don't understand that it's the corporations that are changing them. That you're being given this identity through these corporations. You're being given this identity through the General Mills. You've been given this identity through these mass corporations like Tyson Foods, who are now supporting one of the biggest investors in the Beyond Burger. You are a useful idiot, Joey, and you have no idea the degeneracy that you are pushing. And you do it in the name of progress and of animal rights, but really, you're not doing it for animals. No animals are asking you to speak on their behalf. You're doing it for your own inflated sense of importance, for your own delusion, to prop up yourself as some morally righteous person because you're filled with guilt, you're filled with shame at rejecting the truth and at what you've done as a human being. And that's fine. That's normal. Right? If we've done wrong, we should feel guilty and ashamed. The reason you're not able to get rid of that guilt and shame, the reason you're still filled with anger, resentment, hatred, violence, fear, and loathing is because you reject the truth. And you think you're going to repent from your nonsense by pushing more nonsense. Now you are the epitome of millennial misanthropy. You are the epitome of useful idiocy. And people like this are on the front lines of this global Maoist revolution that seeks to completely destroy all animal agriculture, consolidate all the food supply in the hands of a very few large and very wealthy corporations, NGOs, right, the big foundations. And that's why the Rockefeller Foundation, the Ford Foundation, Bill Gates have been pushing plant-based diets, especially on the third world, and working to completely eradicate the ability of anybody to feed themselves outside of the big ag, big pharma control grid. You're a fool. You act predatorily towards your audience. You prey on the weak. You prey on the dumb, and you prey on the blind, and you prey on children. Yet a 12-year-old boy made you look like a fucking idiot, Joey Carbstrong. A 12-year-old boy. So while you're saving the world, one vegan apple pie from McDonald's at a time, there are people out there actually fighting against this agenda that you were unwittingly pushing. There are farmers, there are family farms, there are organic agriculture advocates out there trying to make a positive change in the world, trying to inform people about the negative consequences of industrial agriculture, spraying glyphosate everywhere that destroys the gut microbiome all over that wheat, corn, and soy. There are people out there educating the public on this. Well, you are out there advocating for the abolition of animal husbandry, making it illegal for families to feed themselves off of their own land. You, Joey Carbstrong, are a useful idiot who spreads a demonic ideology, who's obsessed with death, destruction, and murder, and who needs to check himself and look in the frickin' mirror into those big old seppuku crazy eyes. Look right into your own eyes in the mirror and ask yourself if what you're doing, if what you stand for is real. All right. We have an insurrection in the chat. We got the flat earthers. The flat earthers are up in the chat. Get out of here. Who's in here? Who's in here spreading this shit? At least we don't have the vampires in the chat now. It's not natural. Flat Earth in the chat is not natural. Get the fuck out of here. All right, next flat earther banned. I'm not here to talk flat Earth. We know the Earth is fat. We're here to talk fat Earth. Yin Yang, what's up, dude? Thank you for promulgating the truth in a world veiled by fabrications. Now, that's the thing. It's like people want lies. People don't want the truth. Do you think Joey Carbstrong wants to know what's really going on in the world? Absolutely not. Joey Carbstrong wants to feel important. Check out my website. Sign up for the 22-day vegan challenge. Donate money to me. Give me money. Support my activism. What is his activism? Well, it's just like James Aspie's activism. He flies around the world. He travels around and lives the good life. Funded by who knows who. Right? Who's funding this guy? Who's buying this guy's plane tickets? Who's buying this guy his new Earth's Hope shirt every video? The 22-day vegan challenge. Here, guys. Donate PayPal money to Joey Carbstrong. A.K.A. Joseph Armstrong is his real name. He has 652 Patreons. It doesn't show what he makes a month on Patreon. How can you see what somebody makes? Fleecing people, e-begging for Patreon. So this is why we don't use Patreon. I'm so sick of these people begging for money on the freaking internet. Alright. I was reluctant to start a Patreon page for a long time because I felt that I could support myself through working a normal job and still continue. What normal job? This guy's never had a job. What normal job have you ever had? Anything earned from here will support me in animal work, travel, equipment, my extra helper, and also extra helper. He's got an extra helper. Joey Carbstrong has a personal assistant, and you idiots pay for it. Here's the activism I do. Street interviews, educational vegan videos, vegan outreach, train activists how to be effective, public talks, traveling around supporting of activist events, and TV appearances. So you can enjoy the $10 tier, the $25 tier, $100 tier. What do you get for $100? How many people are on the $100 tier? You can't see how much this guy gets? Shouldn't you be able to see how much they get from Patreon? He's got 652 Patreon. Goals are what? 3 of 3. 100% funded. 100% funded on his goal. So he could travel around and make fake activism videos and harass 12-year-olds on Instagram Live. That's what Joey Carbstrong does. Alright. Here's a more recent video from Joey Carbstrong. Let's see what Joey's up to lately. Am I burning out? The biggest year of my life. Because poor Joey worked so hard being a guest on television shows, vegangelizing the world. He worked so hard that he might burn out. Is he burning out? Let's see.
Hello everyone. I'm feeling really emotional right now, and I knew that I would be emotional in this video.
Right, so here Joey is faking emotion, right? Like a woman, he can make himself cry on command because of that high level of estrogen he gets from all that soy. As a vegan, his hormones are so messed up, he's constantly crying. He's constantly crying. Right, here's Joey breaking down at the UK vegan campout.
Hey, bro. How you going, man?
Hey, here's a fake hug.
So good to see
Where
you,
is it?
bro.
Alright, here we go. Just Joey. They all circled around Joey. Check it out.
To your heart.
And James Aspie, feel the
and
energy in your
pouring
heart.
that energy out into all the animals out there. Think about the animals you've seen. Think about the good. Think about the bad. Feel the energy in your heart and imagine pouring light out of there into all the animals.
We had so many new potential vegans, heard so many amazing success stories, and met all of my favourite activists who I care for.
Yes, it is.
Love, man.
James Aspie. Shout out, dude.
And stand
Check out
up.
that hench herbivore. Herniated gut. That's cute. Look at that little pepperoni nips on hench herbivore.
And stand up.
Here you go. They're in a circle, chanting, meditating around Joey Carbstrong, and Joey's just crying.
Go on, give Joey a
Oh, the animals! Ah, my life's so empty. Look at him just vamping all these people's energy. Joey.
Joy, I love you.
Oh, Joey.
Squeeze a little tighter. Oh, that was heaps sad, eh? Love you, mate.
So these vegan festivals and meeting all the other activists.
RIP 7021. Oh, the vegan Holocaust, right? So if you people believe in the vegan Holocaust, right? You vegans, you people believe that killing an animal is the same as killing a human. Yet your activism is making YouTube videos. You're pussies. I'm so serious. Think about it. You believe that there's a Holocaust going on that's magnitudes worse than any Holocaust we've ever seen. That's magnitudes worse than the Holocausts of the 20th century. You people believe this. Yet your activism is getting in a group hug while Joey Carbstrong cries like a little bitch. Right? You believe in the animal Holocaust. Yet your activism doesn't reflect this professed belief. Your activism is weak. And if you actually believe that there is an animal Holocaust going on, this is not how you would fight it. Right? Your very actions show how weak, how misdirected you are, and how you don't truly believe in what you profess to believe. You're LARPers. You're LARPing. Here's Joey Carbstrong pretending to cry again.
This year has been the biggest year of my life. Thank you all for tuning in for my final video of the year. It's New Year's Eve, and I always make yearly New Year's Eve intention videos. Let's do a little recap. At the start of the year, I made a New Year's video.
He has jump cuts in between his long, dreary stares through his fake teared eyes. He's got to do jump cuts.
Just putting out my intention for the year.
I guess we should all collectively set a new intention for 2018, and it should be nothing less than a vegan world. Anything less is betraying the animals.
And it was to basically take things to the next level. And I had no idea how fast and how powerfully it would manifest. I mean, Laura and I got together and we started a huge tour. I was determined to go harder than I've ever gone. And I started touring the UK, and we started a series called The Vegan Prophecy.
No matter how much money they think they got, no matter how much propaganda they think they can perpetuate, it's going to backfire on them.
Huge things happened as a result of...
Okay, so he's not even saying anything here.
How are you all? So I just thought I'd do like an update little stream, just because, mainly because like my last video, like a lot of people are worried, which is, you know, which is fair, because I released some footage that I actually had saved for a while, and I wasn't actually going to release it. I thought I'd only release the footage if it was going to benefit other activists and vegans. I thought it would be good.
All right, let's find the footage. The footage is in this video. Let's see if we can find it.
Yesterday, you were on the TV on Victoria Derbyshire, and we would very much like to have you on our program.
Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes move. Just the madness. I mean, it's like if you're looking at a starving creature, right? Like a just totally deranged creature that's fearful, afraid, sad. Those eyes.
Jeremy, how are you?
I don't know whether you're angry today or
Interviews today.
And we would very much like to have you on our program as well.
Hello, Jeremy, how are you?
I don't know whether you're angry today or just generally about the whole thing.
Well, I'm a bit upset to see your sandwich has a piece of a pig's body in there, a dead pig that didn't want to die.
I mean, it was very polarizing, even in the vegan community. People said it was too aggressive.
You sit in the front of your truck and drop animals off to their death. Who is the real victim here, my friend?
Say what you want about that interview and my conduct in it and that debate. It kicked off a media storm in the UK. Now, the next day I had articles.
See, now here's the thing with this whole media storm in the UK. The media uses these vegan ideologues, the useful idiots like Joey Carbstrong. These idiots get used to push a broader agenda. Now, a lot of people who don't know what the hell they're talking about will come in the stream and they'll say something like, hey, there's obviously no vegan agenda. These elites aren't trying to push veganism on everybody. It's literally impossible that everybody will go vegan. And these people know that. The people that are behind the massive media conglomerates, the people that are pushing the billions of dollars worth of propaganda through the BBC, the Independent, the Lancet, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, the people that run the media are not trying to turn everybody vegan. They're trying to turn everybody into dependent, city-dwelling, indoctrinated plebs. They want to destroy industrial agriculture. Big Ag, Big Pharma has been working on this for decades. Anybody who wants to know a little bit more about the history of big agriculture, the destruction of the small family farm, and how this came about, and the funding behind this, F. William Engdahl's book, Seeds of Destruction, is pretty short. Very good book, well cited. Anybody who doesn't believe what I'm saying, go read this book. If you don't believe what I'm saying about big agriculture, big pharmaceuticals, and NGOs, what's up, Ryder? You want to say hi? Come here. You want water?
Yeah.
Hey, Jessica? Ryder wants water. And there's no cup. These NGOs, these big foundations, the generational money behind the destruction of the small family farm, documented pretty well here in Seeds of Destruction. These people want to push lab-grown meat. These people want to push a total consolidated food supply. They want it to be mostly plant-based. They want to demonize rural agriculture, small family farms. And the small family farms in the United States have already been mostly destroyed, totally wrecked. So it's not about turning everybody vegan. It's a false dialectic, the everybody vegan versus everybody carnivore. That's not the argument that's going on here. The broader social movement is about control. It's about giving human rights to animals, and thus converting so-called human rights into animal rights. They want to give you the same rights as a pig. They want to give you the same rights as a cow. And these vegan ideologues, these useful idiots, who buy all their food in supermarkets, who wouldn't ever be able to do their diet if it weren't for big ag, big pharma, are pushing it as a wedge issue. It's a false dialectic. So they push way to the direction of veganism publicly, knowing damn well that everybody's not going to convert to a vegan diet. But then guess what? The same money is also promoting lab-grown meat. Clean meat, they're going to call it. And you're going to see a major push for that in the next few years. So it's not about turning everybody vegan. It's about making everybody dependent. And it's about removing our ability to actually provide for our own families. removing people's ability to actually live a rural life. And the abolishment of animal agriculture has been talked about since at least the 1920s. We looked at that article from Lord Birkenhead, 1929, Cosmopolitan magazine, by Lord Birkenhead, the Earl of Birkenhead, who said that animal agriculture will be abolished, all agriculture will be abolished, and humans will also be grown in labs, just like the meat. If you don't believe me, look up 1929, February, Cosmopolitan magazine, Hearst International Cosmopolitan magazine, February 1929.
Britain, militant vegan activist attacks Jeremy Vine about his ham sandwich. As a result of my conduct in that interview, I then landed a TV appearance on This Morning with 2 dairy farmers.
Okay. What happens to your cows?
Would you mind if I finish?
What happens to your cows when they cannot produce milk anymore?
Now, after that TV debate,
I'll tell you what happens to a cow when it can't produce milk anymore. You kill it and it turns into steaks and meat and fat and marrow. You eat it.
more headlines, more newspaper articles. I couldn't keep up with the amount of journalists messaging, emailing, ringing wanting me to debate with farmers, ringing wanting interviews.
How do you know more to the point that a cow is capable of giving consent?
They are not capable of giving consent. They are innocent beings. What is the moral
define innocence?
Difference between a dog and a lamb?
Well, in your
You know, you're digesting the flesh of an animal who didn't want to die, screamed and suffered in a gas chamber, and you've never seen the process?
So do you know your animals do not want to die?
She spends all day just talking about slaughterhouse porn. All freaking day talking about slaughterhouse porn.
Very taxing, but so worth it.
I want to find the spot where he's breaking down.
I think I'm a bit exhausted at the moment. I guess I've been having a lot of ups and downs lately. I don't know, I just don't know. I feel like I don't even know who I am anymore. I'm trying my absolute best, and I don't feel like that it's... I honestly don't feel like it's good enough. I don't know, I know you might think this is pretty stupid, but I just don't feel like I'm doing enough, and I want everyone to know that, even the activists you might admire, we still have their...
Nobody admires you, Joey. Let's get real. Who admires Joey Carbstrong? Maybe a few people for a few months in their life before they realize how insane this man is, before they realize how malnourished they are from this diet, and before they give it up and start eating real human foods. You're so narcissistic, you're so lost in your own ego, you think people actually look up to you, dude. You're a clown.
Still have their bad days.
These nutrient deficiencies that people deal with on a vegan diet lead to not only emotional instability, physical inflammation, right? Farting all day from all the damn fiber, but also violent tendencies. I don't have the articles pulled up now, but we've looked at a lot of these articles before on this Psychology Today, talking about how suicidal tendencies, social disorders, and emotional disorders are rampant in vegan and vegetarian populations. Now, why is that? You're starving. You're starving for fat-soluble vitamins. Your brain is starving for cholesterol. Low cholesterol is associated with higher violent crime and suicide. So while you could tell yourself, oh, I'm so sad because of all the animals, and I work so hard because I'm so righteous. I'm a social justice warrior. I'm gonna bring social justice to the animals, and you can tell yourself about that. You can tell yourself all those lies. But you know what's really going on deep down inside, dude. You're busted up and broken. And you're given over to a total false ideology, and you worship a false god.
I feel like I'm having more bad days than good lately, which is not good.
The downs were really down, the ups were really up. It's been a roller coaster. You know, dealing with criticism, dealing with the media, trying to expose my private life and my past, and it's on top of, you know, not sleeping and, you know, smashing the activism and the animals suffering, and really, really full on. And all of this hasn't been without my own personal struggles. I mean, I'm a human being. I've had a very rough past. If you guys...
Yeah, constantly crying about, oh, I got PTSD. Look at this. The classic social justice. I have PTSD. I have PTSD. Come on.
Well, you know that. I'm suffering with my own personal problems, PTSD, and just aspects of my past that still haunt me today.
Something you'll never see me do is come up here and whine to you like I'm some victim. Oh, poor me, look at my past. Let's compare our pasts. Look at all my suffering. All my suffering. Because I suffer so much, I want to help the animals to stop suffering. Come on.
But the title of this video is, Am I Burning Out? Currently, I'm in Indonesia. Okay, I'm setting up an office here.
An office?
The reason being, it's very cost effective for me to set up an office here. The UK and Australia are just too expensive. As you all know, I've been uploading the Light Up the World Tour series. Now this tour was the most demanding...
Look at him. He's got a motorhome. This guy's cruising around in this nice ass motorhome.
3 weeks I've ever put myself through.
How much is this guy spending on his activism? I wonder if Prince bin Al Walid, is that his name? The Saudi prince who funds Klaus at Plant-Based News. I wonder if that guy funds this channel too. I wonder. How are you affording this lifestyle, dude? You've never worked a day in your life.
To say the least. We're about a third of the way through in my uploads for that tour, and the best is yet to come really with that. I needed a break after that. I mean, I come home back to Australia, and I'd been using so much caffeine and coffee just to get through that tour. It would have been impossible.
That's sad. That's so sad. You missed the meth. Yeah, I mean, it's just the videos are all pretty much the same. You guys kind of get the point, right? Transient, millennial, rootless, self-contradicting, ideologically impaired, mentally deranged, emotionally shattered, entitled, millennial, fighting for the vegan movement, right? Harassing 12-year-olds on Instagram,
Surprised,
crying on camera as often as he can.
Astounded by some of the justifications people try to use to continue to abuse animals. They would never use these justifications in any other context, but as soon as it's to defend their meat-eating habit, their logic goes out the window.
Their meat-eating habit. We are obligate meat eaters. There's no way that you can live off the land without eating meat. Now, with big pharma, big agriculture, some of these people are able to do long-term vegan diets, but we're seeing, I mean, you see right here, the emotional, psychological, and physical destruction that these diets give. Right, look, how many former vegans have we talked to on this channel who have told us just how terrible this diet was for their health, both mental and physical. How many vegans have we talked to?
in every other aspect of their lives, but when it comes to eating flesh of animals who've been murdered, they seem to try to justify it with ridiculous responses that I don't even think they truly believe. Most people believe animals deserve moral treatment, but people don't act in a way that supports that belief.
What would you wish that someone had told you before you went vegan?
Oh, you know, I wish I had a conversation with me now. I would appreciate if someone was just straight with me and said it how it is, without trying to fluff it up, just directly tell me what is going on. What am I contributing to? I think.
So the street activism, I mean, he gets up in front of groups of people, and these people actually listen to him speak. This vegan soypremacist, peace, justice, respect. Define those terms, dude. Define these terms. What is justice? What is peace and what is respect, Joey?
Is the true core principle of veganism, which is the abolition of animal exploitation. And I'll say, okay, take the animals out of there, put yourself in the animal's position. Would you accept that? Would you accept that for a family member? Your companion animal? Okay, a double standard. A double standard. No matter how humane you murder someone, it's still murder. You should be uncomfortable because in the face of what's happening to animals, I believe it is an obligation to be active.
I think it was, to me it felt kind of magical because you just addressed exactly what I think our movement at this time needs.
What's that? You just inspired me so much.
Really?
Yeah, my heart is pumping right now.
Wow, take that fire, take it out there, do something with it. And what you should do is align your actions with your own moral belief that you hold towards animals already. And that is what a vegan is.
Alright, let's go over here in the chat, see what's going on here. I had to ban a few idiots. You know, I don't mind you guys argue amongst yourselves. Don't come on my stream. Don't come on my stream and criticize me for how I do my content. If you have a problem with how I do my content, I'm not asking you to watch. Right? Please unsubscribe if you're triggered, if you're offended. Unsubscribe if you don't like what I have to say. Who's that guy I just banned? Travis T or something? Where'd he go? His comment's gone. Yeah. Just, if you have a problem, get the hell out of here. Travis, you got banned. You know why you got banned? Because you made a stupid ass comment. You come over here and he says, Tristan, you do pretty good work. Be humble though. Right? Get the fuck out of here. Be humble though. Be humble though. I do my content as I like. I'm going to criticize these people. I'm going to shame these people who are out there acting like predatory ideologues out there on the internet. Joey Carbstrong. So you got a problem with that? Get the hell out of here. You're banned. And you flat earthers, get the fuck out of here too. Get out of here. You need to check yourself out, flat earth, if you're going to preach the scriptures. Nothing in scripture tells you that the earth is a flat plane. Right? If you want to rep your flat earth shit, do it somewhere else. I'm not saying you're right, I'm not saying you're wrong, but don't do it here. Alright? You're done. Alright, so we're here to talk about, we believe in fat earth. We believe in fat earth. Victor, you can always talk some shit. I know you. Alright, so Joey Carbstrong. I don't know if I can look at too much more of Joey Carbstrong. Here he is confronting killer rabbis. Should we watch this one too? Joey Carbstrong, if you didn't get it earlier, I'm calling you out, dude. Come on my channel, debate me. You do all these dumbass street debates. Why don't you come debate me? You've got 100,000 subscribers on my channel. Decent amount of people watch this if the algorithm lets them. Come debate me, Joey. Come and get it. Where is it? There it is. So these chickens are going to slaughter, right? What these vegans like to do is they create slaughterhouse porn. And they go and they find the trucks right before these chickens go to slaughter. They zoom in on them, they get all emotional, and they witness. They witness it. They bear witness.
We do a little thing. Is it recording? So we got turkeys stacked up here in these crates, wings hanging out the sides. They look pretty distressed and just there's poo and weed dropping out of these crates everywhere, and they're going in there to get slaughtered. Okay, so just inside this door is the kill floor to the slaughterhouse. We can hear the turkeys from inside. They're waiting their deaths. We're waiting for the rabbis to arrive because this is a kosher slaughterhouse. So I'm hoping that I can have some good conversations with some religious people about why God doesn't want this. Hello.
Morning.
I'm Joey.
Sorry?
I'm Joey.
Morning, Joey.
How are you? You a rabbi?
Yes.
I was just wondering, do you think you're doing God's work in here, or you're doing God's work here? Selling commodifying animal bodies, is that God's work? Yeah?
Morning. Morning. How are you doing?
If this is a place of God, then what does the devil do? If God wants animals to be killed, what does the devil want?
I don't talk to people like you. That gentleman with the beard is much better than you to talk to.
Why?
He's human being than you.
You understand God though, hey? God compassionate, yeah?
So Joey just harassing some old rabbis somewhere. I guess this is maybe the rabbis go to there's this whole scam of, kosher, right? If you're selling products internationally, you pay these rabbis to go and say that your food is kosher. So he's over there just harassing these rabbis that are doing kosher certification, it seems.
If anyone like you, I don't need to speak to.
Is God compassionate? Yeah?
Is God compassionate?
Go to you back.
Alright, so Joey Carbstrong, guys. I mean, what else can we say? Useful idiot, dangerous vegan soypremacist, white soypremacist. He's white. White soypremacist. Joey Carbstrong. I mean, this guy's just got... How many videos does this dude even have? This guy's got hundreds of videos. Hundreds of videos. I can't believe the way this man talks to a 12-year-old boy on the internet. I can't believe it. Right, having conversations, right, aka harassing people in the streets. Here he is. Here,
for the most part, they're adults.
Amsterdam youths get a heavy dose.
You don't need to baby people. I was actually talking to someone at a vigil today. He was an older guy, a police.
A vigil. A vigil for what? An animal vigil? A vigil for the animals? Come on, dude. He talks to everybody like they're idiots, and he starts out this talk saying, I didn't talk to people like they're stupid.
For the most part, they're adults. They can hear it direct. You don't need to baby people. I was actually talking to someone at a vigil today. He was an older guy, a police officer, and he started to get really emotional, angry with me for raising questions about his food choices. I mean, and I just thought like that just it showed a level of emotional maturity, like, to me. I was like, wow, you can't even have a conversation with me about where your steak comes from without getting angry at me. Don't be angry at me. Okay, I'm just telling you.
There's a fire inside your heart. Let it light up the world. Light up the world.
Light up the world. Burn down the world tour from Joey Carbstrong.
Okay. Time to charge up.
Somebody's just filming him all day long.
It's 1:30. We've got about 2 hours till the next event. We're going to Dam Square City for a Cube of Truth. I like doing outreach, eh? I like talking to people.
Cube of Truth, come on.
I find my flow as soon as I start talking to people. It's just a responding based conversation. So you respond based on what they say.
So he's got prepackaged responses, and he's got this kind of algorithmically worked out in his brain. He knows what to say in all these situations because he's done it 100 times. It's just like a straight up NPC going out there trying to program people.
So it's kind of like a dance. All right, so they're doing the Cube of Truth behind us here, and on the left.
Cube of Truth, where they wear Guy Fawkes masks. Right, so they're referencing the film V for Vendetta, where V is the justified terrorist, right, who uses trauma-based mind control to brainwash that chick, Natalie Portman. But actually, when you look at the history of Guy Fawkes and the term fall guy, right, there's a very interesting history concerning Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes is a guy who allegedly tried to bomb Parliament in the UK. But this was happening right at the time when there was a big tiff between Catholics and the Anglicans in the UK. And this event was used where supposedly he was going to bomb them. This was used to suppress this Catholic uprising. Right? So Guy Fawkes was demonized as a terrorist. So these people have no idea what they're even referencing when they're wearing these Guy Fawkes masks. They have no idea the historical nonsense that they're pushing. Who is this? Are you guys still arguing over nonsense in the chat? I don't care how long you've been commenting on my videos. I will ban you if you keep this nonsense up. Alright, so here we go. He's going to show you guys the Cube of Truth.
On the left here, they're selling hot dogs.
Oh, let's go harass the hot dog sales.
Well,
So the Cube of Truth is a bunch of privileged millennials stand around with their fancy iPads and computers and show videos of slaughterhouse porn. That's the Cube of Truth. True activism.
If you're not vegan, stop actively harming animals with your choices because you're vegan in your heart but not in your actions. And if you're vegan, then it's a neutral position. And if you're neutral in times of injustice, then you've chosen the side of the oppressor.
Neutral in times of injustice, then you've chosen the side of the oppressor. And now I agree, there is no neutrality. There is no such thing as a neutral position. Everybody has a position. No such thing as neutrality. But it's funny the way that he proposes that there's an animal holocaust, yet his position is to go out in the streets and march. Why aren't you violently opposing the so-called animal holocaust, right? Wouldn't you be justified to stop it with force if you really believed what you say you believe? Well, you don't believe what you say you believe, dude. Right? And me as a trans vegan, I identify as a vegan. I get all the perks of the vegan social justice protection. Myself as a trans vegan, I eat a carnivore diet, but I'm vegan for the social justice perks and for the protection under the law. As a trans vegan, if I were to believe in the animal holocaust, if I did believe that there was really an animal holocaust, I would hope that I would have the balls to actually live out my worldview. Now, luckily, you aren't mentally ill enough to actually live out the worldview that you claim to hold.
Why harm innocent beings if we don't have to? They're showing people...
No English, please. Only Dutch.
Only Dutch? I can't speak Dutch.
Oh, little bit English.
Tasty?
Yes.
Yeah, but do you think it's moral, ethical?
They don't deserve the way they are treated. The taste of it is just...
Too good?
Yes.
We want to defend animals, yeah. We want to show them compassion. We don't want to stab them to death. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it interesting how none of these vegans are out there protesting wars? None of them are protesting human trafficking. Right? None of them are out there fighting against pedophilia that's rampant and happens out in the open. None of these people are really out there fighting for any human rights. They're fighting to take away humans' rights to live off their own land, to take away humans' rights to grow their own food off their own land. but they think they're fighting for the animals. They're fighting for the animals. These animals never ask these people to speak for them. Oh, but they're voiceless. We're the voice for the voiceless. Right? I mean, you ask these people to actually ground their ethics, right? You ask these people actually, how can they justify their claims on ethics and morality? And why are we as humans ethically responsible for changing our diet to exclude animal foods when other animals are not? Right? Now you say there's no difference between slaughtering a human and a pig. Okay then, why is it ethical for a pig to eat animals? Why is it ethical for a lion to eat animals? Right? And they're constantly using these graphic descriptions of animal slaughter to appeal to emotion. So they prey on emotion, they prey on the young, they prey on the dumb, and they prey on the blind. Chat's going so fast. You guys got... I don't see any super chats to read right now. Alright. So Joey Carbstrong. What else? Important message censored by YouTube.
Really quick video to let you guys know that I've made a very important video, what I consider a very important video with a very important message. YouTube have restricted the video, so they've restricted where it gets shown, where it gets recommended. So if you could just follow the link below, check the video out if you haven't seen it, share it around, because I think this is a very common misconception. I really want this message to get out. I'm even considering uploading the video again at a later date, slightly edited, but for now the video's linked down below. Check it out, like and share and comment. That helps. Well, hopefully it helps somehow, but they've restricted its recommendation. So thank you so much for your support, and I hope this clears up this very common misconception within the vegan movement. What do you think down below? Let's create the discussion. Put it all down below. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now I'm going to give you an update video soon to tell you where I'm at, but for now I thought I'd take this time to talk. Important issue. Can you be vegan for health alone? Now this discussion was raised after I uploaded it's kind of like a debate,
hey everyone.
Like a discussion
so before
with
we
me
get into
and a health advocate on my channel. I'll link it down below. Now after uploading the video, many people didn't sort of get the point I was trying to make.
Because you're terrible at making any points. So the vegan, the tofu Taliban are constantly policing their own crew, right? So if you're vegan for the health purposes, they know that you're highly likely going to leave the vegan diet very soon, because veganism absolutely destroys and wrecks your health. So you're vegan for health purposes. You're never really vegan. That's the claim, right?
I'd like to direct you all to my latest in the Light Up the World Tour series, the Spain video. It's got a lot of amazing content here. It's just been uploaded on my channel.
Does he use the same piano music every time? The same piano music in every video.
I want you guys to miss any of the series.
Alright, let's go to the debate.
100%.
But for now, you don't mean health.
Yeah, no, vegan, like, I know that vegans just because of the animal.
Principle, yeah. Moral principle,
Yes,
yeah.
and I agree 100%. Since 999, like 18 years ago, I started to be like vegan, plant-based vegan.
Wow.
You know?
That's a long time.
Yeah, I was a teenager, but the question is, sometimes I go, like some people invite me, oh, there will be like a vegan dinner, I want you to give your workshops about nutrition and plant-based and health and animal rights. But sometimes I'm working with a person, you know, they are smoking like weed before the workshop, or they are drinking alcohol, and sometimes...
So you're working with someone who does the workshop with you?
Yes, the vegan... Like
someone conducts a workshop and smokes weed beforehand? I don't think anyone should be going to
Let's talk about James Aspie, right?
schools and smoking weed and getting drunk beforehand, though.
Yes,
I mean, if you're representing... if you're doing a workshop, I don't think it's cool to get drunk beforehand or whatever.
Not to get drunk, sometimes I don't express, like, for example...
You mean like the individuals might lead a lifestyle that isn't completely healthy?
Yes, because sometimes I'm working in there's a, for example, a vegan meeting or a vegan weekend in some place, and I go there and I spend 2 hours speaking about health, about lifestyle, exercise, and eating a whole plant-based.
Whole food plant-based diet.
And
Yeah.
I have 7 guests and they like. But after I have a problem with the organization, for example, the vegan, they say, oh, you speak too much about health. We are not promoting health. We're just promoting veganism. And they are eating like white flour.
Why do you work with them if you promote health and they promote animal rights?
No, but cannot veganism can be connected with health because
no, it can't. No, it can't. Plant-based nutrition, whole foods plant-based nutrition, is a diet.
Yes, but if you can
veganism is a moral principle.
Yes, but if you
it's nothing to like
moral principle. So then what you asked Joey is, great, how do you justify this moral principle? How do you know what is morally right and wrong? Do you believe that there is objective moral right and wrong, Joey? And if you do believe in objective moral right and wrong, how do you justify claims on what is morally objectively correct? How do we justify these things? Right? Now this, people don't realize why I'm harping on this so much. All right, grounding ethics and morality in something other than just, hey, I feel like it's right or wrong. Now, this goes beyond just veganism versus not veganism, right? This is the major question at the heart of the struggle that we're dealing with right now in civilization, as globally we're seeing the consolidation of a system of refined control of technocracy that is based on metaphysical presuppositions. It's based on metaphysical presuppositions of Darwinism. Right, the things we see in the world, the struggles we see in the world, we're not seeing, it's not people versus people, it's ideologies versus ideologies. And everybody has a religion. And this is what people don't understand. Whether you call yourself an atheist and you say you don't believe in things that can't be measured or weighed, if you can't show me within the narrow box, the narrow bandwidth that I will allow proofs within, then it can't be real. If you're a materialist rationalist, you're still religious. And you're making a universal claim that everything that is real is material. The arguments we see are not people against people. These are ideologies against ideologies. So what we're going to see in the next decade or so is there is going to continue to be a major breakdown in the fabric of reality for many people as they realize what's happening. And if we don't start questioning our presuppositions and start actually talking about what we're going to build as these nomadic devices spread a global culture that is toppling governments worldwide, that is rendering obsolete a previous order in order to usher in a new order, there are people like Jacques Attali, who me and Jay talked about, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, in our stream about the social engineering of the millennials, like vegan Soypremacist Joey Carbstrong. We talked about this book by Jacques Attali. Kissinger called it brilliant and provocative. Jacques Attali is actually like the kind of the handler, the groomer of Macron. And he writes in this book about exactly what we see happening today. So there are people who've been looking at how are we going to engineer a future society? We need to be discussing these things. We need to be discussing our beliefs, our core beliefs, and we need to be creating real communities where we can actually stand up for these core beliefs. Right? Part of why we moved down here to Ecuador out of the degenerate state of California where I grew up, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world, physically. One of the most deranged places politically to live. A very dangerous place to live if you are a human being. We need to be talking about these things, though. What are we building? What are we passing on to our children? What values are we teaching? And what values are we putting out there into the world? Right? That's why I'm constantly talking against a lot of the degeneracy that gets pumped out here, even on YouTube, right? All this body dysmorphia crap, fat-shaming anorexic vegan moms and shit. Right? Promoting vampirism, cannibalism, moral relativism, and Satanism. That's why I speak out against these things and push against them. And we promote family values. We promote grounding morality, ethics, and reason in the truth. All right, let's listen more to what these guys have to say.
Eat a whole foods plant-based diet, you've eradicated most of the cruelty, because a lot of it happens in food. But in terms of maintaining a healthy lifestyle, this has nothing to do with the moral principle of non-exploitation of sentient beings.
Okay.
So that is a
non-exploitation of sentient beings. How about the exploitation of human beings? How about exploiting children to push your vegan ideology? Promoting the malnourishment of children, promoting the starvation of children through spreading veganism. Is that not cruel? How do you define cruel? Whatever makes you feel bad, Joey? How do we define what's morally right and wrong?
benefit, but not always, because you can eat complete junk and not exploit sentient beings.
Yes, this is my point.
Yeah.
I have my best friend. I love him. Like he taught me about veganism. He was a Hare Krishna, but he's 40 years old. He's fat. He has the beginning of diabetes. He has inflammation in his joints, and I know because he just eats junk vegan. And he's an activist. He has the tattoos and everything. And
he's talking about. I wonder if he's talking about that. Was it John Joseph or whatever? The guy that invented the term meatard. He called John Joseph came on my video and called me a meatard. I love it. I think that's who he's talking about.
I argue all the time. Oh, dear friend, I love you.
Yeah.
You're an activist, but
that is a personal choice of his.
And sometimes I feel that I am like out of the vegan activism and the vegan thing, the vegan word, because I try to use like Dr. McGregor.
That's
Dr.
a good
Colin
way
Kemp.
of advocating. I mean, it can be a strong way of advocating to add health into it.
He uses his hand. That's a good way of advocating. There's a strong way of advocating.
But in terms of the moral principles of veganism, health is got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
See, that this is the thing. They hate the health argument because they know it crumbles. Right? They want you to sacrifice your life for the animals. They want you to bow down at the altar of the crickets and the cows. They want you to get vasectomy from Dr. Gregor. They don't want you doing it for health reasons because you'll leave the movement. They want you to be ideologically possessed by this obsession with the animal holocaust. They want to fill you up with slaughterhouse pornography. And they want you to be emotionally attached to veganism. They want you to push it as an ideology. And this is an international movement that's very well funded, that's becoming increasingly well organized, and that has billions of dollars of NGO money pumping into it. These massive corporations like Tyson Foods, the biggest manufacturer of processed meat products in the world, is invested in the Beyond Burger and is pushing all sorts of plant-based alternatives. Right? You've got the Wu-Tang Clan, the Soy-Tang Clan, leaving their humble origins of selling drugs and promoting drugs, degenerate culture, promiscuity, and debauchery, leaving that to promote veganism with the Impossible Sliders with Jizza and Ghostface Killa. Ghostface Killa. Gonna go kill some ghost faces with Ghostface Killa. There are millions of dollars getting pumped into this movement. This is not grassroots.
I'm not telling I'm right and they're wrong or anything. Sometimes.
Well,
it's just...
you're both right. Like, look. In terms of you being a health advocate, I wouldn't work with animal rights activists because they're two separate things. I mean, if you want to bring animal rights into your health,
I'm not arguing or accusing anything.
No, me neither. I'm just telling you straight out what I. If you want to ask me a question, I'll tell you exactly what I think. Health and the ethics of veganism are completely separate. You can bring them together and mesh them together and go, okay, if you eat a healthy, whole foods, plant-based diet, you can reverse heart disease and diabetes, and it's also good for animals and good for the environment. That's a good way to advocate.
Because my goal is, I always think about the animals. Okay, it was my motivation when I became vegan. But I saw, like, my yoga teacher in India was with disease. My best friends, they were vegan with
That's
diabetes.
a different fight.
And I thought, okay, I go vegan, but I cannot just eat like sheep and like.
Oh well, that's your personal choice. This is a completely different area you're going into here. You're going into helping people, which is good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but if you want to look after your health, that's great. But it's got nothing to do with animal rights and the moral principle that holds together.
But if I can reach like 1,000.
I'm not saying that's bad. I use health to advocate as well.
Like you can use like.
I use health to advocate as well. Here's him eating McDonald's.
Good as well. I mean, do both. But if you want to go vegan at McDonald's, you can. Remember that.
Another good thing is they are trying their best to create zero waste there at McDonald's. So they had all these recycling options there, which is positive as well.
It's positive. Recycling. This is the madness of modernity, folks. This is the madness of the modern world. This is the madness of this age. Let's find. All right. So Joey Carbstrong. Joey Carbstrong, aka Joey Armstrong, from his humble roots as a privileged suburban teenager rebelling against nothing, doing drugs, claims that he was a violent criminal, carrying guns, hitting people with hammers, taking ecstasy and doing meth at 14 years old, from his humble beginnings as a white kid in suburbia, to worldwide vegan activist, heavily funded, with an assistant making videos of him all day long and editing videos and putting them up online, living the life, making loads of money on Patreon, living that millennial, transient, rootless, childless, familyless, godless soy life. That hashtag soy life. Let's check out Joey one more time, just for the people who just jumped in here at the end. One more time. Let's hear how Joey advocates veganism to a 12-year-old.
Hey Mason, you want to go live? Hey Mason, want to come? Come on, Mason, come and chat. Mason.
Hey, how you doing?
How old are you, dude?
I'm 12, bro.
You're 12?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I like fishing.
You like fishing? I'll check out your Instagram, but dude, would you kill dogs for fun?
Dogs for fun? No, I have. Hey, buddy, come here.
You got a dog?
Yeah, I got a dog. Hey, buddy.
What's your dog's name?
His name's Buddy.
What's your dog's name, dude?
His name's Buddy.
Buddy?
Yeah.
Let me see Buddy. I'm gonna tell you something really important in a minute when you show me Buddy. I'm gonna tell you something really important, and it's to do with Buddy, and I want you to try to... Mason, Mason, I want you to try to think really carefully for me, alright? And it involves Buddy. I've got a dog, my dog's name's Snooky. She's around here somewhere, but you've got a fish? Oh look, Buddy, oh my god, Buddy, hello Buddy! Alright, I've got my own fishing apparatus in the water, okay, and it's got a dog bone on there, a little dog treat, and Buddy sees it, and Buddy grabs it, and I hook him in the face, and I drag him into the water, and drown him, okay, for fun. Do they feel it when they suffocate to death? Just dragged him into the water, suffocated him, and now you're doing it with me. Now we're doing it together, see? Brother. What if I caught Buddy by a hook, dragged him in the water, suffocated him, and then released him for fun? Would you think that's okay?
I'm 12, bro.
You're 12?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do you think fish avoid a knife in the throat?
No, that's the thing.
They love it. Do you think they like it? They like being dragged out the ocean and stabbed. Should we kill each other? Do you know animals do some really messed up shit in the wild, dude? They rape each other, they kill each other. Do you copy animals?
No, we don't copy animals.
Why are you copying animals?
The way?
Why are you copying animals?
I didn't say we copy animals.
Does Mum cook your food for you? So if I slashed a dog's throat open, if I slashed a dog's throat open, stunning dogs and slashing their throat open. Like, I'm 31 years old, but when I was 12 years old, I wish someone had this conversation with me. Okay? And Mason, what if we bred humans into the world to eat? We genetically modified humans to be big enough and juicy enough to eat. We bred them into existence for that purpose. Peace, brother. See you, mate. See you, bud. That was interesting.